Welcome to Week in Geek, your new comics preview for December 12th, 12/12/12. I'm Mike Ortiz.
I'm still the Chris Brown.
What do you got?
Well, my top pick here, first pick here, not my top pick, but my first pick at the top of the stack here, Avengers Arena, #1.
Interesting cover.
I like the fact that the cover's ripping off Battle Royale. I like the fact that essentially they're just going for the whole Battle Royale, Hunger Games thing, and they're not even pretending like they're not. But they've got a great way to do it. Hey, we've got Arcade. Beautiful. You know, I love Arcade as a villain. He's very much a 90s villain, but I like that. I'm okay with that. I like the idea that he's going to set all these Avengers on Murder World, and, you know, that's how Marvel's, I guess, going to clear house and kill a bunch of characters that maybe we don't care that much about. I think it's a little weird that, Arcade now suddenly looks like the long-haired Lex Luthor from the 90s, but that's all right. It's all right. Art looks pretty good, and like I said, I kind of like Arcade, so I'm kind of excited about that book. Then I've got Archer and Armstrong, #5. This introduces the Eternal Warrior. He is going to be getting his own book, so they've been doing a great job, I think, with introducing these characters, spinning them out, not just feeling like that's their sole goal is spinning them out. They put them in there because it's part of the story. And then, then they'll go on and move them somewhere else.
They're weaving a big interlocking universe.
And they're working towards a big crossover. The first crossover, I believe, is going to be called the Harbinger Wars. That They just said something about. So they're working toward all that. They're going to get all these characters together. Great stuff. I think Archer and Armstrong's been a fun book. It's as fun as it was back in the day, but a little different, but still really fun. He has some light moments and some cool moments and good stuff. Still hanging in there on Bloodshot. I wanted to at least finish, the first full arc here, get through 6 issues and see what they're doing. It's been a good book. It's a very well-written book, but like I said, it's kind of the whole espionage, big guns and shoot 'em up and kind of stuff, which I'm just not in that place anymore. Yeah. But it's well-written, it's a cool book, and it's valiant, so I'm going to, stick it out. I want to at least finish this arc and see what comes next. Then I've got Saucer Country, #10. A few issues behind on this one. But I like it. It's the whole politics and aliens, and it's always having fun, but I do need to get caught up. I'm probably about 2 issues behind before this one.
All right.
There was that one great episode issue where they kind of go through the whole history of aliens and various things, and that's the last thing I read. I got to get caught up and see what they're doing, but it was a nice little issue to set the stage, so now
and like we said, this happens with most Vertigo books for me, is you get a couple issues deep, and then you catch them all up, read them all in a row, they read great.
Yeah. Then I've got, this is kind of a weird one. I've got The Hollows by IDW.
I had a feeling you were going to pick this one up for some reason.
Well, and how would I not? This is created by Chris Ryall and Sam Keith. It's written by Chris Ryall. I'm not really sure what else he's done.
He's the editor-in-chief of IDW.
Oh, is he? Okay. So, but he's teaming up with Sam Keith here, and I really like Sam Keith's artwork. I don't always, the past few years he's been writing his own stuff. Don't always love that. It was great with the Max when he at least had Bill Messner-Loebs to sort of keep him on track, as off track as that book was. So I think that this book will benefit from that. It seems weird. It's sort of a futuristic world where people live above trees. Trees are living. Some weird stuff going on from the little synopsis that I read, but the artwork looks beautiful, and it doesn't look like it's inked. It looks pencil straight, color over pencils.
Yeah, and some painting, too.
Yeah, really good stuff. If you like the Max, and if you like Sam Keith's artwork, it's at least worth picking up the first issue just to look at it.
It's interesting, the Augusta Wynn book, we kept referencing how much it looked like Sam Keith, and now IDW's actually putting out a Sam Keith book.
Yeah, which I'm glad to have. Then I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #17. It's been a cool book. It's great to have the Turtles back. It is different from the cartoon. It is different from the old comics. But it's fun, and it doesn't really feel that different. The Turtles are still, for the most part, the same. But, they've added some other things and done some other stuff. I think Casey Jones is a really cool character, and, they've made, April a little younger. But it's a cool book. They've got Krang in there. I'm a big fan of Brain living in a robot stomach. All right. Then I've got Clone #2. This is from Skybound, but this is not written by Kirkman. This is written by David Schulner with art by Juan Jose Rip. Really, really cool stuff. It kind of felt like that Madrox miniseries to me that Marvel had put out 6-7 years ago now. It's someone is killing off the clones of someone. This person doesn't even know they're a clone. They don't know what's going on. So far, I think we've only really met clones. One guy thinks he's himself, and then, no, dude, you're a clone. Someone's trying to kill you. So the clones are kind of trying to help each other now, and it's strange. It's weird, but I like it. And the artwork's great. It's kind of nice to see Juan Jose Rip doing. Wasn't he mostly doing the Avatar
stuff? He's doing Avatar stuff. A lot of stuff for Avatar.
So which nothing against Avatar, and I love the guys that work for Avatar. Really good dudes, and they have had some good stuff. Don't read a lot of it. They're not doing stuff that appeals to me. It's good stuff. Farrell's is good. Crossed is good. Crossed is too gross for me. I don't know if that makes me like a little girl. It's just, and that's not even true because more girls buy Crossed than anything else. Really? Believe it or not. Yeah. But it's nice to see Juan Jose Rip kind of coming over. They do. It's nice to see him coming over and doing something that does sort of appeal right to me because his art is fantastic.
Beautiful, detailed line art.
Yeah, really cool stuff. So that, in a short week, takes me through the bulk of my stack.
I've also got a short week. I'm going to start off with Winter Soldier number 13. I believe next issue is Brubaker's last.
Oh, all right.
But
this is to see him go.
This is very much so. Very much so. The basic storyline here is the Winter Soldier. One of the other sleeper agents has been out. This story's been running really the whole time that this book's been around. And to save the Black Widow, Winter Soldier had to get rid of his real personality and go back to his programming, his assassin programming. So now he's running around and he's a villain again. And he's coming after Daredevil. Now, I'm not really sure why, other than I think Brubaker wanted to write Daredevil again. It's funny, you had Brian Michael Bendis writing Daredevil and Daredevil End of Days, and I think as this is really Brubaker's swan song, his goodbye to the Marvel Universe, I think he's just slipping Daredevil in to say goodbye.
Probably.
Which is great because he wrote a great run on Daredevil.
Yes, he did.
I think because of what Bendis did before and what Mark Waid has done after, people don't talk about his Daredevil as much anymore. But it was a great run, so it's good to see him back with that character. Captain America is in this too. I mean, this is really wrapping up that big story that he started back with Captain America #1, as he says goodbye to Captain America and the Marvel Universe and all of this stuff. But we've got Wolverine. Basically, it's a super soldier extravaganza in the Winter Soldier. Great stuff with absolutely fantastic artwork by Butch Guice. I don't know what he's moving on to after this book.
The art's beautiful.
I don't know if he's going to stick around after the writer changes or not, but great stuff. Next up, Green Lantern, the animated series. We've got Art and Franco back.
Cool.
Every once in a while, there'll be a fill-in with another writer. But again, this is just great done-in-one stuff. We're still set out in the fringes of space with the Red Lantern and with Aya. It looks like I can't remember the name of this guy. This is another. I can't remember his name.
Looks fun though.
He's a Silver Age character.
Okay.
They've been bringing a lot of Mirwidden. Okay, yeah, he's some sort of a wizard.
Okay.
So yeah, this.
The way his name's kind of spelled and whatnot, and the way he looks, it very much reminds me of a Mixtaplick. Is he a fourth dimension imp?
Could be. I know he is a wizard. I think he wasn't originally, and then I think they did retcon him into being another one.
Okay.
But this is every issue. They're done in one. They're doing some very kid-friendly Silver Agey stuff. Great stuff. This is a great cartoon. Unfortunately, it got pulled. When all the Cartoon Network stuff or all the DC
just till January, right?
Yeah, it's coming back, but they showed like 2 episodes and then pulled it. So this has been your only real dose, and it's good stuff. Next up, Amazing Spider-Man number 699.1. This is actually Morbius the Living Vampire issue 0. So it starts off. We start off where we were with Doc Ock being broken out of prison, which happened in Spider-Man 699. They pass by Morbius, who's in prison, and then it just basically picks up Morbius' story. Okay. So yeah, this is really just if you want to keep your Amazing Spider-Man numbering complete, you have to buy an issue of Morbius, whether you like it or not. But it's Dan Slott. I actually do like Morbius. He's a good character. We'll check this out.
I love Michael Morbius.
If this is good, then maybe we'll pick up the Morbius book that's launching in January.
Who's writing that?
That is Joe Keating, who is the co-writer of this. Joe Keating and Dan Slott wrote this. And Joe Keating is writing the Morbius book all by himself with someone named Elson on the artwork. So yeah, if you like vampires, you like Michael Morbius. He was not a real vampire. He's a living vampire.
Right.
But yeah, this is Amazing Spider-Man 699.1 / Morbius 0. Next up, Fantastic Four number 2. This is Matt Fraction and Mark Bagley still. There's something wrong with Mr. Fantastic, as we found out in the first issue. His unstable molecules, apparently he is also composed of unstable molecules, not just the costumes, are breaking down, and he's going to look throughout the cosmos and space and time for a cure. So this is continuing that. They've got together their...
So they're the Space Family Richards.
Yes.
Looking for a way to save Dad.
Looking for a way to save Dad, and of course...
They don't know that.
In the FF book, we're building the team that's going to stay on Earth as they go gallivanting around the cosmos. So yeah, it's the Fantastic Four plus... what is it? Franklin and Valeria.
Yep.
Heading out across the universe and space and time. I think this is going to be a fun book. I mean, I'm glad that there's a bigger story behind it, but hopefully Fraction will get to do some of his kind of wild and crazy stuff. And Mark Bagley always gives you a really good, grounded superhero book. Next up, Green Lantern Corps number 15. This is continuing the rise of the Third Army. Guy Gardner got kicked out of the Corps. In this issue, the Guardians have incapacitated Salak. So they're continuing their slow dismantling of all of the corps as they move their Third Army into place. So yeah, we'll see what's going on with this. This has been a pretty big story. Each book is telling its own individual piece. It's not a straight up crossover like some of the other ones have been. These are all you can read all just this and see what's going on. The Green Lantern stuff is all separate. They're all tying into this big storyline, and I'm sure they'll all kind of meet up at the end.
Okay.
But it's not like you have to read this one and then read next week's book. You can actually just read the individual books. This has been good, solid stuff. John Stewart's in that. We see what's continuing with the Guardians trying to get him out of the way. So yeah, there's a big plot going on that the Guardians have got some bad stuff going on. And we're finding out a little bit more month by month.
Right on, those Guardians are up to no good.
They are. Little crazy blue men. So what do you got? What's your top?
Well, this, no surprises this week. Walking Dead 105. This book, if you've been reading it, 104, holy crap. So Carl sneaks off, gets in the truck with, the guys that are headed back to Negan's camp. And he jumps out of the back of the gun, out of the truck with a machine gun. Takes out 5 or 6 of Negan's dudes, and Negan looks right at him and says, "Look at you. That machine gun's bigger than you are." You picked it because it looks cool, didn't you? Yeah, I know you did. And they have this great little moment, and holy crap, Negan's a nasty bad dude. Is he going to be as bad as the governor? But, man, you can't help but like him a little. He's a really interesting character. He's a horrible person. I wouldn't want to live in his little town there. He seems to rule through fear a little bit, and that's how he keeps his people loyal. But you do find out a little bit more about his camp, and it's kind of interesting. And he's kind of talking to Carl about some things, and he's also expressing how he feels about Carl, which is, the first time he meets Carl, he says, "Well, we can't take out this guy, this future serial killer, because his story's not over yet." So, does he spend too much time with Negan? Is that how he ends up becoming the future serial killer? Who knows? Good stuff, though. This was a good issue. Kind of took a little lull to introduce us to these people, and completely takes us out. We don't spend any time with Rick or Andrea or anyone, and it's good. It's a really good issue. I enjoyed it.
Cool.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at Batman number 15, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo.
Great cover.
This has been a fantastic book. I have not even flipped through this. I don't want a panel spoiled. The return of the Joker in the Batman books. I've tried a couple of the Death in the Families. None of them really clicked very much for me. But this has just been absolutely fantastic.
Snyder's a great writer.
Snyder writes scary, and he writes mood. And this creepy leather-faced Joker is just messed up stuff. The last 2 issues, like I said, have been great. The
absolutely.
Joker's at the top of his game. Batman's still trying to make it all work out. I don't know what's coming in here. Obviously, the cover's got the Joker in Batman's head, where I think he is literally and figuratively. So yeah, I can't say much about this because I'm not even going to flip through it, because this is it's been a light week. I don't have anything really kind of special or stand out or unusual, but this is the book that I'm looking forward to the most because it's just been a treat every time. I have to fight the urge to flip through it.
And I'm not even a Batman fan, and I've said that before, and it's not that I dislike Batman. I just don't like Batman. He's just not my guy. From all the things that we talk about on the show, you can kind of tell where I go. I go real weird, or I go superhero. Straight up superhero. Batman's never really been that, for me in the last 12 to 15 years. When Batman's good, I'll read Batman. And Batman is not good right now. It's great.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really enjoying that and having a good time with it. You know, I've read most of the Death of the Family stuff, and okay, it's all right. You know, it's for me, it's a little peek into the Bat universe, which I only peer past that curtain every now and again. But the Snyder stuff has been stellar. This is great stuff.
Has been for a year and a half. Has been one of, if not the best, of the DC books.
Agreed. There was that one issue where I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And Scott Snyder sort of smacked me down on Facebook a little. He didn't. He was actually very nice.
Yes.
He's like, well, why didn't you like it? Why don't you write me and tell me why you didn't like it? And wait till the next issue. You know, he was really cool about that, and that was neat that he feels that passionately about what he's doing, and he's having a good time. You can tell he enjoys what he's doing.
I can't wait till he does Superman.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. I'm also looking forward to that. So, and we've also got a Batgirl this week. I just mentioned that briefly because we've only got a few more issues left of Gail Simone on Batgirl. If you're a Gail Simone fan, kind of some strange things happened this week. She got fired by the guy who used to do the toy column for the worst and now defunct comic magazine ever. So, way to go, Brian Cunningham. Way to go. With that, that is your Week in Geek.